In a world where fashion trends flicker and fade like neon lights, one name continues to shine brighter than the rest: Park Jimin. In 2025, the global style landscape finds itself once again enchanted by the magnetic presence of BTS's very own Prince of Poise, this time in an even more powerful partnership with Dior. It's not just another brand endorsement, it's a cultural reset. Back in early 2023, when Jimin was first announced as global ambassador for Dior, the luxury fashion house saw a wave of attention like never before. Fast forward to 2025, and what was once a well-curated match has now evolved into a full-blown fashion monarchy, with Jimin reigning as its undisputed ruler. Dior's latest menswear campaign, unveiled this spring, features Jimin not just as a model, but as the muse, mastermind, and momentum behind the brand's striking new direction. From his signature soft charisma to the fierce gaze that stops runways mid-breath, Jimin doesn't wear Dior, he is Dior. Whether it's Paris, Seoul, or New York, the effect is the same. Collections sell out in minutes, hashtags trend globally, and luxury consumers, both Gen Z and millennial, suddenly want what Jimin wears. But beyond the glitz of Fashion Week and the explosion of social media buzz lies a deeper story of a pop star who transcends music, of a brand smart enough to adapt, and of an era where K-pop isn't just influencing culture, it's defining it. So how exactly did Jimin become the face of modern couture? And how is his star power reshaping the future of high fashion itself? Before the fashion world called him the Dior darling, Jimin was already making headlines, not just for his velvet vocals or hypnotic stage presence, but for his unmistakable sense of style. Even in the early BTS days, while others experimented with flashy trends, Jimin's elegance stood quietly powerful. Silk shirts tucked just right, custom-tailored suits that moved like liquid, and accessories chosen with an artist's eye. He wasn't just dressing up. He was curating a narrative. That narrative found its perfect counterpart in Dior. When the French fashion house announced Jimin as its global ambassador in January 2023, it marked a turning point not only for the brand but for the entire luxury fashion industry. It was the first time Dior partnered with a K-pop idol of Jimin's caliber on such an expansive level. A full-spectrum deal that included campaign features, red carpet exclusives, runway appearances, and limited edition collaborations. Within days, Dior's social platform saw a triple-digit spike in engagement, and the hashtag #JimingsDior exploded across global trends. By 2024, Jimin had become more than a celebrity model. He had become the soul of Dior's menswear identity. His face appeared in every major fashion capital, draped across flagship stores in Tokyo, London, and Milan. Yet what set Jimin apart wasn't just his visual perfection. It was the emotional resonance he brought to each campaign. Where most fashion shoots deliver image, Jimin delivered story. Take, for example, Dior's Ethereal Shadows campaign in late 2024, where Jimin reimagined the myth of Narcissus not as vanity but self-reflection. Shot in a rain-slick forest under silver moonlight, the visuals featured Jimin in sculptural wool coats and delicate chiffon blouses, a blend of masculine strength and divine softness. The campaign received not only critical praise but viral fan interpretations, sparking essays, art challenges, and even university seminars on K-pop's influence on visual semiotics. But the apex arrived in 2025. This year, Dior and Jimin launched Dior Lumiere, the Jimin line, a capsule collection co-designed by Kim Jones and Jimin himself. The announcement alone crashed Dior's e-commerce site in parts of Asia. Within 72 hours, over 95% of the first release had sold out globally. Fashion analysts coined the term the Jimin spike to describe the surge in revenue Dior now experiences each time the idol wears or endorses a piece. Behind this meteoric rise is not just Jimin's fashion acumen, but his rare ability to make luxury feel personal. Whether he's in a pearl-encrusted blazer or a minimal black turtleneck, Jimin makes fans feel like they, too, belong in that world. That aspirational closeness paired with K-pop's hyper-engaged fandom culture has transformed Dior from a distant dream into an attainable identity, especially for Gen Z consumers. In interviews, Dior's creative director Kim Jones has described Jimin as a living canvas, delicate, bold, and endlessly expressive. But perhaps more telling is how Dior's design direction has subtly shifted under Jimin's influence. Recent collections now echo silhouettes often worn by the singer. High collars, cropped jackets, flowy layers, subtle edge. He's not just representing Dior. He's shaping it, Jimin's journey from pop idol to global fashion architect shows just how blurred the lines have become between celebrity and couture. In 2025, he's no longer just the face of Dior, he's the heartbeat behind its evolution. Jimin isn't just a fashion muse, he's a walking economic catalyst. Since his official partnership with Dior began, the brand has witnessed an unprecedented revenue surge directly linked to his name. According to 2024 market reports, Dior's Asia-Pacific menswear division experienced a 312% increase in Q2 sales year-over-year following the release of Jimin's first Dior campaign. In China and South Korea alone, Dior's men's fragrances, particularly the Jimin-endorsed Dior sold out within 48 hours of restock, repeatedly across multiple regions. What's even more compelling is the conversion power of ARMY. Unlike traditional fashion influencers who rely on curated aesthetics or seasonal hype, Jimin's fans treat his fashion choices with the same devotion they show his music. When Jimin wore a limited edition Dior embroidered blazer during his surprise appearance at Paris Fashion Week in January 2025, it sold out online in under 6 minutes. The resale value on sites like StockX and Grailed soared to over 800% of its retail price, and that was before Dior even posted the official campaign photos. But the real game changer? The Jimin line Dior Lumiere. Dior Lumiere, the capsule collection co-designed by Jimin, dropped in March 2025 with little traditional promotion. Instead, Dior released a single teaser, a grayscale photo of Jimin's silhouette captioned only with "Let there be light." Within hours, #Jimin Dior Lumiere was trending #1 worldwide. Dior's official Instagram gained over 1.2 million followers in a week, the highest organic spike since launching in 2015. The drop included 15 limited edition items: trench coats, structured slacks, asymmetrical silk shirts, brooches, and 2 fragrance variants, Lumiere Dawn and Lumiere Dusk, both handpicked by Jimin. The result? A complete stock clearance within 72 hours, totaling an estimated $124 million in revenue globally. That figure doesn't even include secondary market sales or the extended campaign merchandise launched later that month. And the ripple effects don't stop at Dior. Jimin's presence has reshaped how luxury fashion brands approach the entire South Korean market, now viewed not as niche, but as the cultural axis of global influence. Brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, and Valentino have ramped up efforts to secure K-pop ambassadors, but none have yet matched the phenomenon known as the Jimin effect. In 2025, Seoul ranks among the top 3 fashion capitals in terms of luxury consumption, alongside Paris and New York, a shift that industry experts attribute heavily to K-pop's fashion-forward stars. But within that constellation of idols, Jimin stands apart, not just for his elegance, but for his brand consistency. While others switch affiliations seasonally, Jimin has remained Dior's exclusive partner, a move that adds credibility, loyalty, and long-term equity to the collaboration. Behind the scenes, insiders at LVMH, Dior's parent company, report that the brand's 5-year strategic plan has been revised to include Asia-centric and K-pop-focused expansion, with Jimin's input influencing retail architecture, visual merchandising, and even runway soundtrack decisions. The takeaway: Jimin isn't just wearing Dior. He's redefining luxury economics. From stockholder confidence to retail analytics, from the buzz of Seoul's Gangnam district to the glamour of Avenue Montaigne, Jimin is rewriting the rulebook on what it means to be a brand ambassador. Not just a pretty face, not just a global star, but a commercial juggernaut in Dior's finest tailoring. When Jimin walks into a room, fashion trends change. Not metaphorically, literally. In an era where fashion inspiration spreads faster than press releases, Jimin has become a style compass for millions across the globe. Whether it's a peek of his airport outfit or a behind-the-scenes snapshot from a Dior shoot, fans dissect, replicate, and immortalize his looks with unmatched fervor. The result? Jimin isn't just influencing Dior, he's shaping how an entire generation defines elegance. His signature? Delicate masculinity. It's a term fashion journalists have coined to describe Jimin's approach, the fusion of softness and structure. He may wear a corseted waist with combat boots, or a sheer organza blouse with sharp, boxy trousers, but always with grace. In a culture often obsessed with hypermasculine posturing, Jimin breaks stereotypes by wearing silk just as confidently as he wears leather. That refusal to be boxed in has sparked a styling revolution across gender-fluid fashion, especially among Gen Z consumers in South Korea, Japan, France, and the US. Search data proves it. Following every major public appearance by Jimin in Dior, queries like Jimin Airport Look, Jimin Dior Coat, or How to Dress Like Jimin spike across global fashion platforms. His personal touch, the way he wears belts loosely on the hips, lets sleeves drape past the wrist, or layers textures in unexpected ways, becomes instant styling. LW in 2024. A Milan-based boutique named Les Sillons reported that their custom-made Jimin-style shirts, inspired by the off-shoulder silken button-down he wore during a Dior editorial, became their #1 seller for 6 months straight. Similarly, stylists across TikTok and YouTube launched the Jimin Challenge, recreating his outfits on a budget. The challenge drew in over 120 million cumulative views and was even picked up by Elle Korea in a full feature piece titled, "Why Everyone Wants to Dress Like Jimin." But it's not just about fabric, it's about energy. Every look Jimin wears carries a kind of controlled vulnerability. He doesn't dominate the clothes, he dances with them. This mutual relationship, where the garment and the man both shine, has become a case study in modern styling philosophy. Fashion schools in London and Seoul now reference his Dior campaigns in curriculum discussions about visual storytelling and branding. Dior's own in-house stylists have gone on record stating that Jimin often influences final look decisions on set. He's not afraid to say, "Can we roll up this sleeve?" Or "This collar should be tighter," said one team member anonymously. And more often than not, he's absolutely right. The shot looks better his way. In fan communities, his fashion moments are treated with archival precision. High-resolution scans, color analysis breakdowns, and even 3D reconstructions of his Dior photoshoots have been created by fans, elevating each outfit into a cultural artifact. Even more striking? His ability to make avant-garde look approachable. The floral lace suit he wore during the Lumiere launch, for instance, was dubbed too experimental by early critics. Yet after Jimin was seen wearing it grinning, confident, effortless, the piece became a must-have. Dior re-released a simplified ready-to-wear version titled the JM22, and it sold out within hours. He doesn't follow the trend. He becomes it. For Dior, this influence is gold. It means that every piece Jimin wears has the potential to shape the wider market. For the fashion world, it signals a new rulebook, one written not in Paris boardrooms, but in Instagram posts, fan cams, and Dior campaigns signed by Park Jimin. He's not just setting the bar. He is the bar. Jimin's collaboration with Dior isn't just a fashion statement, it's a cultural milestone in the ongoing saga of the Korean wave Hallyu that's been reshaping global entertainment and style for over a decade. Luxury fashion, historically centered in Paris, Milan, and New York, has often been slow to recognize the economic and cultural power of East Asia, especially South Korea. But the phenomenal success of BTS, and especially Jimin's star power, has flipped that narrative upside down. In 2025, the term K-fashion diplomacy is gaining serious traction. Industry insiders see Jimin as a soft power ambassador who bridges luxury fashion with Korean culture, creating a new lexicon of style and influence. This is a world where a Dior runway in Seoul can command the same respect as Paris or Milan, where streetwear-infused couture gets featured on Vogue Korea's cover alongside classical European designs. Jimin's impact extends beyond clothes to redefining beauty standards and gender expression. His androgynous charm, poetic movement, and fearless sartorial choices challenge traditional Western ideals of masculinity, inviting a broader, more inclusive interpretation. As a result, Dior's campaigns with Jimin have become case studies in diversity and cultural hybridity. This cultural cross-pollination benefits both sides. Dior taps into a global fanbase hungry for fresh aesthetics and authenticity, while Korean fashion gains a prestigious platform on the world stage. K-pop fandom's commitment also means that each Dior collaboration isn't just a commercial transaction, it's a cultural exchange celebrated by millions. The broader Korean luxury ecosystem also flourishes. From Seoul Fashion Week's growing international prestige to collaborations between Korean designers and global houses, Jimin's Dior partnership acts as a flagship example of how entertainment and fashion coalesce to drive national branding. Moreover, South Korea's government has taken note. In 2025, the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism launched new initiatives promoting fashion diplomacy, leveraging icons like Jimin to enhance Korea's soft power abroad. Events such as the K-Style Gala, featuring Jimin in Dior's latest collection, draw diplomats, celebrities, and media worldwide, illustrating how fashion and music create bridges beyond borders. Critically, this fusion of K-pop and haute couture is not without scrutiny. Purists question the commercialization of culture, and skeptics debate the sustainability of these collaborations. Yet, Jimin's genuine involvement from co-designing pieces to engaging in campaign storytelling lends authenticity rarely seen in celebrity endorsements. Ultimately, Jimin's partnership with Dior epitomizes a 21st-century renaissance where fashion is not just worn but performed, lived, and globalized through the lens of cultural dialogue. It symbolizes a world where Korean artistry shapes global trends, rewriting history with every stitch. In the digital age, no partnership is complete without the might of social media. And in the case of Jimin x Dior, the fandom army acts as a marketing powerhouse rivaling any traditional campaign. What sets ARMY apart isn't just size, estimated at over 40 million worldwide, but its dedication and savvy digital activism. When Jimin debuts a Dior look, hashtags explode. Twitter threads dissect every detail. TikTok creators choreograph mini runway shows inspired by his outfits. Instagram stories flood with fan edits, remixing Dior logos with Jimin's iconic dance moves. The engagement is organic, relentless, and global. For Dior, this means every campaign featuring Jimin reaches millions within minutes, often before official advertising budgets kick in. The brand's own digital team has openly credited ARMY for pushing Dior's content into viral territory, sparking trends that transcend borders. One striking example. The release of the Dior Lumiere collection saw ARMY members coordinating a 24-hour live watch party streaming Jimin's campaign videos, raising the hashtag #LightUpWithJimin to over 10 million tweets. Influencers outside of K-pop circles, fashion bloggers, luxury lifestyle YouTubers, even mainstream celebrities jumped on the trend, multiplying Dior's exposure exponentially. Beyond sheer numbers, ARMY's impact reshapes luxury consumption norms. They've turned pop culture into a collective effort, pooling resources, sharing purchasing tips, and creating online communities dedicated to obtaining Jimin-endorsed Dior pieces. This collaborative consumerism has created a new model for limited edition product drops, making scarcity less about exclusivity and more about fan-driven demand. Dior has responded in kind. Their marketing now includes interactive AR experiences where fans can virtually try on Jimin's outfits, exclusive behind-the-scenes content tailored to ARMY, and even limited edition NFTs featuring digital fashion inspired by Jimin's signature looks. The symbiotic relationship between Dior and ARMY has also expanded Dior's traditional audience. Suddenly, Dior's consumer base includes not just luxury shoppers but millennials and Gen Z worldwide, who may have never engaged with high fashion before. This demographic shift ensures Dior remains relevant for years to come. But the influence isn't one-sided. Jimin's active engagement, responding to fan posts, sharing styling tips, and even participating in charity campaigns with Dior strengthens this bond, creating a feedback loop where fans feel genuinely seen and valued. Experts predict this phenomenon will inspire other luxury brands to rethink influencer partnerships, focusing on authentic fan communities rather than conventional celebrities. Jimin and ARMY's success has set a blueprint for the future of fashion marketing, one where passion, fandom, and culture collide to create unstoppable momentum.